Hi, my name is Rich, and this is how God helped me become resolved. So I think of myself as a child of God in terms of my identity, but the roles that I serve in are I'm a husband, a father, a grandfather of three children, and I've been a business leader, business owner before, retired from that, kind of changed lanes in this part of my life, leading ministries that support and serve the homeless in an urban area, and working on a nonprofit with my wife. I fell into drug and alcohol addiction as a teenager, and praise God, I actually found recovery early on in my life. I was 16 years old when I was in inpatient treatment and had people help me navigate through recovery at that time. And the mistake that I really made that I didn't understand at the time was that I surrendered drugs and alcohol to God, but I hadn't really surrendered my entire life. So where the lack of complete surrender showed up was 15 years into my sobriety, and what I hadn't really surrendered was lust, was really my sex life, and that created a devastating blow to the marriage that I was in and my family, and to me personally. Out of that brokenness, and God tends to like to use brokenness. Out of that brokenness is where I finally made the decision to surrender my life to Christ and completely surrender, not just surrender the drugs and alcohol and even the lust, but really to turn everything over to Him. Things really came to a head for me late one night. I was up late. It's 2:30 in the morning, just examining everything that had been going on in my life and really the pain and the mess that I created not only for myself but for many people around me. And I came to the conclusion that it was really me that was really the problem, and really it was me trying to lead my life the way that I wanted to lead it and hang on to the things that I felt like I needed to hang on to. And it was at that point that I really became broken and I would say really almost desperate when I cried out to God 2:30 in the morning one day in February in the year 2000. And I just was examining my whole life in terms of the damage that I'd caused not only myself but so many people around me. I really came to the conclusion that I couldn't do this anymore. I just couldn't do it anymore. And I hit my knees in front of the couch in the living room and I cried out to God at that point. You know, that early morning when I was so broken, I mean, I really was at a point where I admitted I couldn't deal with this sin in my life any longer. Couldn't deal with my life any longer. But at that moment in that evening, that's really was where I met Jesus, and I felt like that was really the first time that I really encountered Him, just really directly in that moment, and came to believe that He was the one that was going to save me from this. This felt like probably the biggest risk of my life was to surrender everything to God. But I was at such a point that I really felt like I was at a dead end and I really didn't have a better option. And Jesus was really that option for me. And I've never looked back, and I've never been sorry for making that decision. So are you ready to become resolved?